Thanks for coming along to another live stream. Hello, lads. How you doing?
Evening.
Hey,
Awesomeness. I hope you all had a good week. Hello to Philip Carey. How many have we got on? 31. Good going. Philip Carey, lover of you. Hope you're doing well. How's it going? Andy GSA Tractor. Flap Cap Racer. He's a dude, that one, isn't he? Flap Cap Racer.
He is, isn't he?
New biker, I know him. Paul Clark, hello. Simon GTR 1400. Phil Green, how's it going, mate? Slow Rider. Ken Brooks, hello. Right, so this week we're doing something totally different. We're going to be opening up the link. So if you have a webcam and a decent sound, then you're free to come in. So it don't have to be a YouTuber. It can be anyone. But so what have you guys been up to? We'll start with Saddlebags today. What have you been up to this week, Saddle? Been out on the bike or?
Yeah, out on the bike yesterday, a bit of filming, and today I've been walking the coast path with Twinks.
All right. Can you say which part, or would you rather keep that till the video?
Yeah, I started at Welcome Mouth, which is the closest you can park to the Cornwall-Devon border, and then walk to the border, which is Marsland Mouth, onto Morwenstow, where GCHQ with the big satellite dishes.
Oh yeah.
Morwenstow, and then back inland, back to Welcome Mouth. That was a good walk.
That's not Goon Hilly, is it? Am I thinking of a different one?
No, that's Helston Way, Goon Hilly.
Ah, right.
I really enjoyed your walking video, Saddle. I really
did. You did? Oh, thank you.
Very good.
Thanks. Yeah, not many people watched it, but those that did seem to like it. So, yeah, thanks.
I think this time of year...
Those in the know.
Sorry?
Those in the know enjoyed it.
On that note, I enjoyed Phil's washing machine video. Was it you called it?
Yeah, cheddar in a washing machine.
I know I've made complaints about these 360 cameras, but that works really well. That did.
I think it's just trying to get a happy medium between using the technology and not overdoing it. You don't need to use all the functions because it makes it unwatchable.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what,
that was
Phil?
nice, just seeing the cliffs.
I was meant to watch that yesterday, and I totally forgot about it. I'm going to watch that. Yeah, how are you getting on with it? Do you find it a bit of a pain to edit the stuff, or is it all right?
To be honest with you, the editing's a lot easier than I thought it would be because you edit it all on the phone, in the app, and then you sort of transfer it across to whatever editing software you use. Now, the only problem I found with it, or not problem, but the only hold up is you have to edit it and know what scenes you want before you put it into your editing software. So it's almost like you have to watch it, edit it, and hope you get all the right scenes that fit in the video. But it's pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. But like I say, it's just not overusing the technology. The technology is fantastic. I still don't get it. It's all magic and dragons to me. But it's just not overusing it so that it actually doesn't make people feel travel sick when they watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your whole workflow is in your phone, I guess mine's very different. I find it a bit of a pain, but I do things on a PC and a Linux workstation, so I keep having to transfer files over, and my PC isn't very good. I can't. I tried doing it on the phone, and I just can't. It just the phone. I don't know if my phone's rubbish or it kind of gets hot and it drains the power really quickly, and can't do it.
Yeah. See, I do all my editing on the phone from start to finish. As soon as I move the videos across from the GoPro or from the 360, I move them into the phone, and then I edit in the phone, and then I upload from the phone, and then do all my adjustments in the analytics app.
You've got to send me details of what phone you have, and I might need to upgrade mine.
I've just got a Samsung. I have just upgraded to an S22, but that's not like the top flagship phone at the moment.
Okay.
And before that, I had a Note 20, which was really good because you had the S Pen, which meant you could make much more fine-tune edits. But no, it's just easy because you can edit anywhere.
What program do you use for that, Phil? Editing program.
I use KineMaster, which is actually one that Epic Adam sort of pointed me towards. They're a bit sneaky. It started off as $3.99 a month, and it's a fantastic editing program. I mean, look, I don't know what the videos look like to other people. To me, they seem okay, but it's a good editing program. But then all of a sudden, they decided to up it to £11 a month. But once they've got you, it's hard to give up. I've tried other editing programs on the phone, but nothing really matches it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I use Filmora, and I can't imagine using anything else. I'll probably get used to it in no time, but Filmora for me, I know every bit of that program, you know, and a lot of it I don't even use. You know what it's like. You can go into menus and find new things all the time. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Filmora because it works. You know, I paid 80 quid. I think it was 80 quid probably 3 years ago, and I've had it for a life now. I don't have to pay any more money. So what do you use, Noob? Sorry.
Oh, for the 360 stuff, I use my Windows laptop that I use for work as well, which sometimes means if I'm traveling on the tube, I can be doing a little bit of that. But on and I just use the Insta360 software. But when I'm actually doing like the GoPro stuff and finishing off the videos, at the moment I'm using Arcadian Live, but I run a Linux workstation, so it's free software on that. But it doesn't have the software for doing 360 unless I can do. Tom's TC is saying he uses DaVinci, which I have DaVinci on Linux. Maybe I can actually edit it directly there, but I don't know if it works on Linux or only on Windows.
Oh yeah.
One thing that's really good with the 1X or the 360 1X2 or whatever version it is software on the phone is that when you start to video it, you can actually get your video going, hold up the record button, and then literally just move around, and it'll move the camera as the phone's moving, so you can relive the ride while holding the phone, and it's recording it exactly where you want to see. So like I said,
you can actually upload the video as 360, so you can be watching on YouTube or whatever, and as you look up and down with your phone or as you turn, it actually changes the direction, or you can just scroll the window as well. But the quality is a bit.
My one thing that goes through my mind, and I think I actually mentioned this to Saddlebags, is that when I'm editing it and putting it together, what's going through my mind is what would Saddlebags say, because he's like me. We both sort of hate the 360 stuff because people overuse the technology and make it uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I'm going through a process at the moment, actually, switching the subject a little bit of wanting to get a drone again, a DJI 3. It's 860 quid, so I mean, at the moment, work's a bit crap for me at the moment, but when I have got more work coming in again, I'm going to treat myself to one of them, I think. Because you've all got them now, haven't you? Have you got one, Noob? You haven't got one, have you?
I have got, but I haven't got a DJI. I've got a crappy one that doesn't have the stabilization thing.
Oh, right.
And to be honest, I bought it a couple of Christmases ago. I had to play around with it, and it's kind of been sitting there unused for a while. So I'm loath to go and spend a load more money on a DJI just because if I had the stabilization, then I'd use it. But I don't think it's the gimbal thing. It's just like it's a time thing. Once I start making it complicated and adding more and more stuff, then it just takes longer and longer for me to edit because I want to get it just perfect. And I was telling you earlier, Exeter, that I was editing this photo in the background is actually from a video I shot when I did a bike safe in May last year. And I've been editing it because I have a bit of 360 footage and I'm trying to sync it all up and stitch it all up. And it's just taken me, it takes so long that you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to finish it this week. Let me go and shoot just a quick one take from the helmet camera, bang, that I can just go bang, bang, bang and get out. And then this just stays there. So the more stuff I add, the longer it takes, and then it just doesn't get done.
Yeah. I think the more time goes on with YouTube, the more you learn, and the more that you kind of make a rod for your own back, don't you? Because it's like my reviews. I want to do ride bias now, and I want to do all those shots, but they take a lot of time, and it becomes a real pain. But at the same time, you want to make your better videos and not go backwards, don't you?
Yeah.
But,
there's another Brazilian on the chat.
Is there? Where to?
Rotterdam Carreteiro. He probably doesn't realize I'm
okay.
Brazilian too. Hello.
Ah, all right. What's this say here? DJI 3 needs no license.
Chopper 150?
What are we talking about? What's he saying? I'm Brazilian.
Chopper Row 150. What is that?
Yeah, so that obviously 150 is going to be like a 125 to us, isn't it? So don't know what though. You've asked the question. Hopefully he'll come in a minute. Say hello there, he says. All right.
Hello.
All right. Anyway, well, I'm going to open up this link now. So anyone who wants to come in, you don't have to have a YouTube channel. You can just be, a subscriber or whatever. It'd be nice to hear from the subscribers, actually, if you have got a mobile phone. Download StreamYard, and then I'll give you a link in a second, and you can come in. So let's do that. Copy. Simon Gilbert, hello, mate. And here we are. Here's the link, guys. So anyone who wants to come in, feel free and have a chat if you like. What's that Richard Hill one? So DJ needs no license, sub 250 grams. Yes. Obviously it needs to be
mine's sub
registered.
250 as well. It's I forget what it's called. Hollystone. It's a Hollystone one. It's nice. It's fun to play with. But it's just like,
how many limitations in London? Is there like any sort of no-fly zones in London? Well, I'm assuming there are, but are they everywhere in London?
I don't think there is, not for the sub 250 grams. Obviously, if you're near an airfield, it's a no. If you're near power lines, it's a no.
Prisons.
If you're going towards cars. In London, it's just a busy place, so you have to basically ride out somewhere nice and open and then get it out.
Yeah. I was going to make a joke up then, but no, I won't go there. Right, if we got... Hello? Who's this? Oh, no. Here's trouble. Oh, no. Not sure if we want him in here. Hello, mate.
Oh,
Howie 702. How you doing, mate? All right?
That's all going.
And I've got another one here. Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
How you doing, mate? All right?
All right.
Just talking about you just now.
I didn't hear that. I must have been away.
Yeah. Howie, your sound is off, mate. Not getting any sound throughs from you.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, so keep quiet.
I can get him back now, can't we?
No,
that'll teach him.
That's excellent. Thank you.
What have you been up to?
How's that? Is that working?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
You're right now.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Is he? Say something, Howie.
Hello, 1 2.
Yeah. I've got you. All right.
Hello,
Tom.
1 2.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, 1 2. Yeah. There's
Not very
only
loud,
one
though,
of
is
them.
it?
Just one's coming through, so don't worry about two.
12. 12.
Tom, you've been
12,
out
has that
recently?
gone?
You still out and about?
Yeah, I'm out on the CRF 250. That's my winter bike, obviously. So I've just been mucking around on that. But the kids and the wife's back at work now, so I'm having to use the car quite regularly now to pick the kids up from school. So bike doesn't quite get used as much as I want it to.
No.
I
Somebody's got their YouTube on. We've got a
playing in
lot
the
of
background.
feedback.
It's a big echo.
Is that Howie again? Is that Howie again?
It's not me. I've muted my YouTube.
Oh.
Hello.
Always do.
Hello, that's better. Right.
There we go.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to the show, everybody. Let's start again. No, it's still echoing.
Shall I go out and come back in again?
Try that. Yeah.
I'm using speakers. That's what it is.
Try that. Yeah.
How's that? 1 2 1 2. Oh, hang on.
He's a troublemaker,
I'm
this Howie, isn't he?
Messing around with my Is that got audio? Is that got audio? Seriously?
It got audio, but we've
Was that
got
muted?
loads of like feedback. I'm echoing back after I say it. Yeah.
Best thing to do, Al, is you mute yours and then we'll test it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I can mute them from here, actually. I think. Right. Guys, say something.
Something.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Howie. Howie's a troublemaker.
Yes, Howie's.
It's gone. That's it. That's
Yay!
resolved it. Start again,
Right.
Howie.
Tom, we'll
No,
start
what
again,
you
mate.
should do is just leave him out. Then he'll do one of those gate crash videos where he'll just add himself back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
It's
So,
probably
yeah,
a part of the master plan anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just out on the CRF, basically commuting a bit. Haven't done a great deal. I changed oil on the MT-01, ready to bring it out in the spring. And that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a bit boring, isn't it?
So what bikes have you got?
I've got
I've got some pictures here, by the way, mate, because I was going to set you up on another stream anyway. So
I got the MT-01, which is my road bike and my baby. And then I've got the CRF 250, which I acquired back in October, which is my just basic commuter and get muddy and not really care about it and fall off it a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with the MT-01 then. How did that come about? Why the MT-01?
I had a GSX 1400 and I'm quite tall. The main issue with the GSX 1400 is the seat height between the the seat length between the foot pegs and the seat itself, giving me a lot of grief for my knees. And I wasn't ready to go the adventure bike route, and I wanted something different. And I've been looking at the MT-01 for however long I can remember, since it was a bike in Yamaha's mind, you know, just as a concept. And one became available. It was pretty cheap back in lockdown. Went for a bit of a punt on it. It was a bit ropey around the edges, needed a bit of TLC, and that's how I acquired it. I'd never even ridden one. I just went and brought it off of a bloke and got it delivered. It was a bit of a risk, and when I rode it the first few times, I was a bit, have I done the right thing? Going from an inline 4 to a massive shaky vibey V twin was a bit of a change. But I always liked twins. I've always liked V twins, you know, anything like that. And after a few rides, and once I got the hang of riding it, I was in love, and that's it now. So,
what years did they make them? Because the weird thing is, I've been, you know, with bikes since sort of mid 90s, I would say, that I would track them really, and I can't remember seeing that one in the showroom.
It wasn't in a lot of showrooms. It was 05 to 2012, and it flopped, massively flopped. They sold 250 in the UK in total. I think there's about 200 that are registered. It might be a little bit more than that have been sold, but a lot of them were exported to Germany because on the continent they love them. So there's quite a few out there, but they made a bit of a change on the Mark II in about 2009, 2010 to meet the EU emissions, and then it flopped even more because of that. It was just really lumpy. And at the time when it came out, everybody wanted sports bikes, so no one even gave it a look. And because of the original concept was quite different to what the actual bike came out in the shops, I think a lot of people went, nah, it's not interesting enough. And that was really where it flopped. And now you can't pick them up for less than about $6,000 for a 2005 model. So
I guess
amazing.
Lovely bikes. It's so underrated. And these days when you can't really go stupid fast on the roads, you know, they rip your arms off up to about 70, 80 miles an hour. Then they do run out of steam.
Yeah.
But
I love the noise it makes.
The noise, like, it's addictive. And people, you know, old ladies turn and stare at you, and people in the high streets stare at you, and then you get the odd occasional person like going, "Oh wow, it's amazing! What is that?" And people will come up to me and go, "Is that a custom?" It's like, no, it's not a custom. It's off the shelf. People just do not know what it is. So it's amazing.
It's that scarcity value, isn't it?
Sorry,
it's that scarcity value because it's so rare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's incredibly rare. I set up a UK group on Facebook for them because we didn't have one. We had there was a European one and a world one. So I set up a UK group which has got about 250 members now, and a lot of the guys on there actually there's probably about 10, 20 of the guys on there that are just looking to buy one. So it's quite interesting. So I rode it through a couple of winters, and then this year I was starting to get concerned because the parts are becoming so scarce for it. You can order them, but they're from Germany, so you're looking at a little bit of a price hike on them. But yeah, it's funny when you pull up next to like a Ducati or something like that, and people look at your bike rather than Ducati because they're just so interested. They want to know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
What would you change about it, Tom? If you got any niggles with it that you would?
Another
that you
20
don't
brake horsepower at the top end would be nice. A bit more top end.
It's a V-twin for you, I suppose. They are.
Yeah, it
pretty
does
much
run
low
out.
end.
It's got about 90 brake horsepower, but it does start to run out of steam. Once you've got the hang of the gears, it's fine, but it just needs a little bit more horsepower. And if I could, I would like an exhaust that I could switch a button on the handlebar and just turn it down a little bit when I'm riding through town, because it does get a little bit of unwanted attention. But it's either sounds like it's farting with the baffles in, or it sounds like hell on earth. So I tend to run it without the baffles, if I'm honest.
What else did Yamaha run that motor in? Do you know?
The Yamaha Warrior, the cruiser.
Right.
But they changed the flywheel a little bit, made it a bit lighter, so it revs a bit quicker than the Warrior. The parts aren't interchangeable. You can, like the starter motor, a few other bits and pieces, but the internals are a lot lighter in the MT-01, so they're not interchangeable, unfortunately. But people have used parts from the Warrior. You can get like a stage 3 upgrade, which is like Westco pistons. You remove the airbox, you put pods on it, and a Akrapovic full system, which gives it another sort of 10-15 brake horsepower. But the last system I saw, a full system like that with the ECU, went for €2,500.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's like proper, it's like rocking all poo, basically.
Yeah.
You just can't get it. So it's great though. I love it. The opportunity I took to buy the bike was a bit of a gamble. But yeah, it was the right thing to do, because it's just increased in value so much, which is why it's now tucked away in the garage over winter. So, but it does take a bit of looking after.
Here's a question here, lads. If you wouldn't mind thoughts on that. Do they make it difficult and expensive for older drivers or riders in this case to get back on? I'll tell you a bit of history about Senna. He's one of my subscribers.
No.
He's just learning to ride, or shortly learning to ride. He wants to get a NC750, and I think he's 60 or 61. So it's still early days, 61. Plenty of time, isn't there? So, Howie, not picking on you, mate, but you're going to know a bit more about it. Do they make it difficult? They don't really, do they?
Well, just because I'm the oldest one here.
Well, I think you're 49, aren't you? So I thought.
No, I'm 60.
I lost him again.
You've
Lost you again, Howie.
It's Somerset. It's because down in Somerset, the sound doesn't travel all the way up.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's probably that microphone he bought from B&M.
I take it.
Can you remember Norman Collier?
So, Saddle?
I take it we're talking about people that have left biking and come back to it, are we?
Senna's learning to ride now. I don't think he's coming back. He's literally learning to ride from
Well,
scratch.
I think I'm potentially the one who's got his license most recently than anybody else, because I only got my license 2017, my full license.
Yeah.
So, it is expensive. Once you factor in all the training and stuff, but I think on the flip side of that, I'm guessing there were a few people kind of getting killed when they didn't have all of the extra requirements. So it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it any more expensive than getting your car license, though?
Oh, it's probably more.
It's catching up.
I don't know. It was a long time ago I got my car license.
Mm.
But yeah, you have to pay for lessons, and when you take the test, you have to pay for the pay for the school to take you there because you can't be on the road on your own
Mhm.
on a proper on a big bike, unless you're going to trailer it there.
I would
I
say
think
that the price of riding a motorcycle now to get your license is far more expensive than what it used to be. I do feel like they're trying to push people off. Like it's the amount of people I speak to, and they're like, "Yeah, I really want to do it," but they just can't justify the overall, because most of the time you've got to take a week off of work if you're doing a direct access as well. And the other, I mean, I did my test. I'll be honest with you, I found it probably one of the easiest things I've done in my life. But that was because the guy was in a car, he got stuck in traffic, and I sat and waited for him for about 25 minutes.
same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, do a U-turn." Yeah, okay, back to the thing, and that was it. He goes, "Yeah, well done, you've passed." I mean, I was ecstatic. I was 18 years old, loving life at that stage. But it means that I mean, you're right. It's probably not the correct thing, and it does mean that people generally don't have the experience or the to go out. And I do think it's probably a good thing that they do all these different accesses now. But is it a little bit over the top? Maybe.
Probably.
But yeah,
I think it's
I
a bit
mean,
of a money spinner, this Mod 1, Mod 2, like.
and it's given manufacturers a bit more control as well to build lots of different bikes and charge lots of different prices. Whereas, I mean, I did mine. You had to do like the 33 brake horsepower, which is so much more simple. It's like until you're 21, you have to ride 33 brake horsepower. So you could get any bike you wanted. You could get like a Fireblade as long as you restricted it to 33 brake horsepower, which you could. You just put like the washers in the carbs. If you did that, you could have any bike you wanted. The insurance company would pretty much cover you, no problem at all. And then when you got to the end of your 2 years, or you reached 21, you basically just took the washers out, and there you go. You got a full power motorcycle. So it went from 33 brake horsepower to 150 overnight, which I suppose there was a little bit of an oversight on that, and a lot of companies made money out of the imports on the 400cc market from Japan on the grey imports. But
Yeah. Love a review. He's based in the US. How much does it cost in Europe to get a full license? It's around £1,100, I would say, these days. I know my mate passed last year and it's 1,000, so it's about 1,100 quid now, I'd say. And that's if you pass first time. Obviously, if you have to retake your test, I think it's about £100 each time you have to retake it. So
$4 million.
Plus your theory test and hazard perception test and all that on top.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's in the grand. I think it probably is.
Right.
But yeah, I know it's about £1,000 now.
The theory isn't. The tests themselves aren't expensive. It's the time of the school with the instructor to train you, to take you there.
Yeah.
Even a CBT is quite expensive now. I think it's like £160.
Yeah, that's right.
100, 150, but that's it's a full day that you're paying for.
Yeah, I think you get quite a lot for that, really, don't you? CBT wise,
you get a day out on a bike and a little spot of lunch and meet some new people.
I love doing my CBT and my full bike test. For me, that I'd done it in 2005. I passed, and it was 5 days of holiday. It was brilliant. Going out on a massive big 500cc bike. Yeah. It's brilliant.
With massive crash bars on them where everyone's falling off it.
Yeah. No, I didn't need them.
I did my CBT, and then I did my full test a year after doing my CBT, because being 6'6" and nearly 20 stone riding a 100cc motorcycle around was hard work. But I don't remember much of the training for my big license, if that makes sense. I just think, oh yeah, I did it. The only thing I remember was a kid was doing it, and he was desperate to get on his 180 Gilera DNA. Do you remember the 180?
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Like the 2-strokes that were like super powerful, and that was all he wanted to do, was ride these 180 Gilera. That's what I remember, oddly. But where I've been riding around on a bike for a year and then doing a full test and sort of being au fait with all of the only thing they were doing was taking the bad habits out of what you were doing. So, because you've ridden around on a 100cc bike for a year, and no one's really told you what to do. You're just like, yeah, whatever. So, but
Yeah.
and you're 18 years old and mucking about most of the time.
Yes. You do, yeah. There's a question here I wanted to put up just now. Right, question time. Tesla, clever electric self-driving. There is a time for DCT. DCT? Time before
That's
DCT.
what you got on your NC, isn't it?
Yes. Dual
Transmission.
clutch transmission, yeah.
I have a video planned about Teslas, hopefully record it over the next week or so, and it's about the fact that their technology is killing motorcyclists in America. They've got quite an issue now, and it's actually to do with cost saving. Any car now that's got what they call adaptive cruise control. It uses two sensors: a camera, which is just behind the wing mirror, the rear view mirror, and a radar sensor at the front of the grille. Now, what they thought they'd do is they'd bin the radar sensor and they just use the camera. What that means is
We've got reverb again from Howie.
We've got reverb again. What that means is even if the camera
Pretty bad reverb.
They haven't. Everything's isolated at the back of me, and there's nothing going through except for the mic on my headphone. So
it's
I don't
because
know
there's
how
nothing
you're getting
stopping it through the speakers coming out your mouth. There's nothing to slow it down. Through your headphones.
There's nothing coming out the speakers.
No, it's coming out your
There's nothing
headphones.
coming
Coming
out
straight
the
out your mouth
headphones.
because there's nothing to slow
It's
it
just in
down.
my ears. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, without the radar sensor, it doesn't judge the distance. So it's actually hitting motorcyclists because it can't recognize them as motorcycles. And it's happened in low light a couple of times in America now over the last few months. It's purely down to cost saving on the Tesla's part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I drove a Toyota Corolla up to Birmingham last year, and it had the adaptive cruise control. And I've never driven a car with adaptive cruise control, and I thought, I'll give it a go because the roads were quiet, and I must admit, it makes you really lazy. You're just literally like, oh, that's brilliant, it's great, But the issue is that when I got there, I was less fatigued than I would have been if I was driving my normal car. But of course, driving, I'm just literally you've got your hand, and it had the lane thing as well. Just literally had my hand on the wheel. It had the text messaging system, so you could literally you could tell the thing what text you wanted, and it would send them off.
It's gone over the line now.
Yeah.
It's got too much now.
The problem is then,
but
then you that's the problem. Even if you're not holding something in your hand, you're still distracted because your brain's paying attention to what's going on with the text and what the text is saying, or what the radio's saying, or what your wife is saying next to you. Because distracted, you're not fully engaged with what you're supposed to be paying attention on the road, which then you need all these extra systems, your emergency braking and lane control. I mean, the question from Richard is: are we waiting for some cool tech to hit bikes? No, actually, I think bikes have got way too much tech.
It's got radars on it. You've got the Ducati Multistrada's got radar. The Kawasaki
RT BMW
H2 has radar. Something else has a radar as well. No.
If the technology works,
I'm avoiding it.
If the technology works, it's safer. I mean, my car now, I'm lucky enough to drive a demonstrator for work, and it's got the adaptive cruise control, and it's got the camera, and it's got the lane assist. Now, that will sense something in front of me, possibly before I see it. So it will actually initiate a braking, an emergency brake if need be, or at least just slow the car down to the point where it's a safe distance from whatever is in front, whether it be a truck or a bike or whatever. So it is there. The problem they've got in America is they're allowed to call it autopilot, and they have no legal requirement in certain states to actually touch the steering wheel. Now, given that freedom, people are just going to not bother. They're going to read a book or just play a video game because the car's doing it all for them. Well, all you need then is any sort of electronic failure, and it's lights out for somebody.
Yeah, what are you going to say, Saddle?
I hate to break
hold on to the steering wheel.
Yeah, but I hate to break it to you. There's people doing that in this country already.
Yeah,
obviously.
Even without the Tesla autopilots, the things I see every day, people reading their books on the steering wheel or a newspaper, or
I saw somebody watching YouTube yesterday, in traffic, and you could tell that it was just on the little phone holder, and they were every now and then like that. Next minute, they're going over towards the curb. I thought, I mean, I'm not going to do nothing, you know.
Yeah, but it was one of my videos, so it was fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. It's a little electric car. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you
That's my
see,
one
I
view.
see the delivery riders watching YouTube. They're riding
Really?
around, L plates on, only got the CVT, and they've got YouTube playing. And we're like,
Crazy.
you're not paying attention. You're going to get squished.
Saddle, what were you going to say just now?
I was just to say, as far as cool tech goes, that ends with electric start for me on motorbikes.
Yeah.
That'll
A bit of
do.
ABS, maybe. Yeah.
And even that only if you're really desperate.
Have you not got sat nav on the Himalayan?
Sorry,
Have you not got the little sat nav on the Himalayan?
I have. I use it occasionally. That
Does
is
it
quite
work?
cool tech.
No, didn't you see?
Oh
how?
no! I use a separate sat nav device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it's the gateways.
Oh, you want to bake the Tripper, Tom? Tripper.
Yeah, that's
app.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. They don't work, do they, apparently?
apparently.
Yeah.
It's like the little
Beeline.
That's it, yeah, a bit like the Beeline one. But like someone said the other day, I can't remember what I was watching it on, maybe another live, but they were saying that trouble is you get to a junction or a roundabout or like a big busy junction on a motorway, and it just doesn't know what to do. So, or it doesn't.
Yeah.
You could get lost.
Yeah.
I tend to, if I'm using it, I put my phone on my handlebars with Google Maps, talking to my helmet. The only thing I find with Google Maps is it's sometimes a little bit delayed. You sort of have to know where you, without glancing down too much, to look at the damn thing, especially if you don't know where you're going.
It's a bit like having the missus sat next to you in the car, isn't
yeah,
it? Which is
pretty
like,
much, yeah.
oh, which way is it? It's that way. Which way's that way? Well, it's that way. What was it? So left then?
Yeah.
No, that way.
Yeah.
Right. So you want
The
to
other
go right,
left.
or go right and then go
Right.
left.
Not that left, the other left.
The other left.
I tend to drive the long distances because my missus gets a bit confused by the sat navs, especially when there's all the blue lines across the junctions. So it's just easier rather than me going that one. Just go. I'll
Yeah.
just drive.
My wife will confirm sat nav saved our marriage because we would have killed each other.
I remember travelling down to Cornwall when I was a kid, from all the way from South London, and my mum reading the map in the passenger seat and like taking what seemed like forever, and my mum and dad would just be arguing constantly over the maps and stuff like that. So now it's just like, just point the car in the right direction, away you go. It's easy.
Let's look at this a different way then. What Rich is saying there. What cool tech is on bikes? Is it, for example, for cars, for me, I think the blind spot lights which pop up on the mirrors, I think that's a great thing, certainly for us guys on bikes. Is there anything that is good on bikes? I can't really answer that.
My 17-year-old Sportster has self-cancelling indicators, which is brilliant for me.
That's a good idea.
That is one thing that needs to be. My habit is smacking the crud out of the indicators because I'm so scared I've left them on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My old man put self-cancelling ones on his Triumph 1050 Tiger. I can't remember what make they are, but they work pretty well. They're a bit fiddly to install apparently, but yeah.
ABS, I know Saddle doesn't really think much of ABS, do you?
I don't mind ABS, but I'm quite happy without ABS.
Yeah, I like it on the front, but I'd rather it wasn't on the back for me.
Have you got the link brakes on the Honda? Are they linked?
On mine?
Yeah, on the NC. On your
NC.
Yeah, on the NC. No, they're not linked. No. I wouldn't want a bike with linked brakes. Full stop. Although some of them are pretty good. I think the VFR has linked brakes. But no, if it's link brakes, somebody come off actually down the road from me on the Lex Moto with link brakes, and basically panicked. The car coming out of a junction, and off she went. So yeah, no, link brakes. I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
So with the link brakes, do they work both ways? So if you go for the front brake, it brings in the rear.
It's only on the rear brake.
The rear on its own, does it bring in the front as well?
No, it's only the rear brake that will activate both. The front brake will just do the front, which is
ironic. Sorry,
you want
if you go on the rear brake, it brings in it activates the front brake.
Yes,
which is exactly what you don't want.
Yeah, you want like a controlled slide. You want to control. If you're hitting the back brake, you want a controlled lock. Even if you're going too fast, it's your own fault. But I did it. I when I crashed my MT-01 back in August, I was going up to Western bike night, and I just lost concentration for mere second, saw a car brake in front of me. I hit the front brake as hard as I could, you know, just and that was it. It went hit a manhole straight underneath me.
Yeah.
So luckily I had the crash bungs on it then, so it sort of managed to save a bit of it. But
yeah, I think it's human nature, really, isn't it? If something comes straight out in front of you, you do grab the front, don't you?
Had a Pan-European that has link brakes.
All right.
Or at least
The
the
thing is,
one he had.
most riders, I would have thought, use their rear brakes in sort of fairly difficult conditions, wet weather, icy weather. The last thing you want when you're trying to just edge off some speed with your rear brakes is your front brakes to kick in.
Yeah.
In my
it's like
opinion,
a 70
I haven't got
30,
ABS.
isn't it? Is
Pardon?
it like a sort of you
I
got
think
like
70,
when you,
yeah, 70, 30, 70, 40 on the,
yeah.
It's rear biased, isn't it, normally?
Yeah.
No, hang on, was it front biased?
The thing is, I only
Front
use
biased.
my rear brake when I'm going really slowly. Like
I've
if
learned
I'm
to use the
going,
rear brake
I'm
more
going
on
about
the
15
CRF.
mile an hour or slower. That's when I use the rear brake. I won't use the front then at that point. If I'm going fast, I'm just going to hit the front brake. I don't bother with the back because it does nothing.
I learned with the CRF because it's got the bigger front wheel and it's sort of skinnier tires than the MT-01. It's not throwing as much weight onto the front, so you tend to use the back brake more.
Yeah.
It's the
which is
same on
good
the
fun.
Himalayan.
Yeah. It is. You just sort of naturally use the back brake and it does wicked skids, so it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've learned to
Most
do like a sort
importantly.
of slide up to the lights now, so
Yeah.
everyone thinks I'm a complete twat when I do that, but I'm laughing in my helmet.
It's great. It's good fun.
Yeah.
It's good fun. Oddly enough, now this is a weird one because Euro 5 say that ABS has to be on bikes, but the 125 Monkey has got ABS on the front, but not on the back, and that's the same with the 125 Dax and a few others as well. Which again, you know, you can have a lot of fun on a Monkey bike because you can really lock up the rear. So, but yeah, I never understood how that passed Euro 5 if it has to have either linked brakes or ABS on both ends.
It's weird,
Never
isn't it?
understood that.
Because the CRF has got ABS, but it's not actually working on my bike, and I haven't actually bothered to get it working. The only thing I've done is covered the ABS flashing light on the dashboard because it drives me mental. But I questioned my MOT centre about it. I said, does that actually be working? He said, no, it doesn't. He said, because we can't test it because it doesn't actually start activating until 15 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't actually test ABS on motorbikes in an MOT centre. So, yeah, so he said it won't actually start flashing on your dashboard until you reach a certain speed for a certain amount of time. So it is something I've got to look at because you can turn it off on the CRF as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I
Was that
haven't-
just a push button, is it? Push a button
yeah,
and
you
it
have to
turns
sort
off.
of press and hold it before you turn the bike on. You just press and
Oops.
hold it and it comes off. But yeah, it doesn't work. But I've never felt like I've needed it, and you don't want it off road anyway. But
ABS off-road is an absolute pain, isn't it?
yeah. Oh well,
You know,
I don't
let
know.
alone. I mean, I
Doesn't
went
work.
off-road with Curious Goose on the Sinis terrain, and that had link braking, and we were going down to quite a steep hill, you know, quite rocky and all that, and link brakes as well. What a pain! We just couldn't do it. We just had to go at walking pace because it was just locking up the front all the time.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it's. I'm going to stick the link in again, guys. If anybody else wants to come in,
Except Howie.
That's it. Oh, bless him. I know what he's like with sound. He'll be absolutely kicking himself.
Except Howie.
Yeah.
But anyone drinking tonight, or am I on my own?
Yeah, I was going to go
Water.
and get one actually in a minute.
Water, is it?
I was being very boring. I'm having 0% Guinness.
Hey,
Oh, ooh.
it's very
Even
useful.
Guinness with
Night.
alcohol in it is yucky in my eyes, anyway.
Oh, you got a red Uncle Red one. Is it
Yeah.
Uncle Red coaster? Yeah, I've got one. You done me one? Look,
Excellent.
ready? I can't hold it. I'm in the right place now. There you go. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise actually because we were doing a bit of sticker swapping, and then this came in the post. It was like, wow. Must have
He's
taken
a lovely
some time.
guy.
I've
It's a
not,
nice
yeah, I've
bike
not
he's
met
got on
him,
it,
but
that Indian.
Oh, there he is. He's on the chat.
is he?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I've got
Oh,
it full
Red.
screen.
Hey, Red, do you want to come in? You come in
Yeah,
if you
come on,
want.
join.
Come on,
Go on, Red.
come on.
Come on in.
I want to talk about that Indian because he was like, oh, I'm not sure about that exhaust, and now he's like, yeah, it's wicked.
That is a stunning bike, mine, isn't it? It is a good looking bike.
It's like one of the only cruisers that I look at and go, yeah, wouldn't mind one of them.
I'm exactly the same, Tom.
Yeah. I sat on one at the NEC and I was like, oh, it's actually quite a nice bike. It's really smart and it's got a lovely motor in it.
It does.
But you can get the like I was talking about the switch for the exhaust. You can get the exhaust for those, can't you? The Jekyll and Hyde's with a button on the thing, so you can make it louder and quieter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's just basically a butterfly valve that's in the exhaust, a bit like the Mercedes have for their bike, for their cars.
That's quite cool technology.
Yeah, that is, but it's really expensive. So yeah, and I think they have to fit it, or you have to get it fitted by a specialist dealership, I think, because there's a little bit of ECU change as well. But I think Teapot One did a thing on it on his
oh, is
BMW.
it that one? Yeah, I know what one you mean.
Yeah,
it's big bucks though, and it's
it's silly bucks.
Just for,
My mate had one on his BMW M3. Had a switch on his dashboard where he could just press the button and it went from like straight through to like when you're driving through town, it was nice and quiet. Press the button and it was like a flipping racing car.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Those guys with the loud ones near where I live, is they put it on loud when they drive through town.
Oh right, yeah, the opposite direction. Yeah.
You're not too happy about that, then, Noob?
Huh?
Not too happy about that, are you?
No, I wish I had a rocket launcher and I could, they go up and down my road like, and then lift so that you get all the popping on the, like, okay, like you've done this 3 times now, it's getting old.
Yeah, we got one that goes by about 5 o'clock in the morning, a little 125, and he's decatted it, and what a racket! Even my boys wake up. It takes a lot to wake them up.
How old do we sound right now?
I know. I tell you what, right? My bike is so loud that it actually vibrates the windows on the house behind us. They told me that.
That's great.
Yeah,
that is great.
But
it's irresponsible, Philip.
It's irresponsible, but I tend to be very. I'm like, I don't warm it up until I've got down the road, and it's. Anyway, there's a kid that comes through on like a Lex Moto with like 0 exhaust on it, and he used to go every day, backwards and forwards, until one day I was like, right, that's it, I've had enough now. So he came past, and I went, listen, mate, I've got a bike.
Cheers, Jim.
I'm doing my nutting, So he goes, oh, I didn't realise it was that bad. Yeah, right. Yeah, so but it wasn't so much that he was going past my house. It was the fact it was like 3 or 4 times in an hour.
Yeah.
At like 11 o'clock at night. It was like, no, it's not on, mate. I wouldn't do that.
And we all did it.
Yeah, we all did it then, but I wouldn't do it now. So now if I come back from a meet or late at night, I tend to sort of like turn the engine off and just coast up to my drive.
Yeah. When I had my
so all that about the windows wasn't true then?
Yeah. Well, not anymore. That's why I don't do it anymore. Yeah. So you've got to have some respect.
Yeah. How much going back onto this here, Centurion? I want to bring people in every now and then. No issues with ABS, but link brakes would have dropped me in Dandy Lane. I don't know where Dandy Lane is. He's from Exeter, this guy, so not sure where that is. But he's got a 310 GS and used to be able to turn off the ABS on them, but on the 2022 models he can't. So again, it's a bit of a strange one, that. Okay, anyone going to the London Bike Show in 2 weeks' time? Not for me. If they bring out something exciting as after
I will be there. I've been there for the last few years helping out at the IAM stand, but I cannot go this year because I'm going to be traveling with the wife. Don't Drift is just always easy top. Yeah, that's very original. That's the first time I've heard that one.
Why do they insist on having big bike shows in the winter? MCN is November, isn't it? And this one in London now, February.
Yeah, you say that, but they do a lot of shows that aren't so popular during the summer months. Like there's one in Scotland, got the ABR festival, and many other festivals, which I know that Honda go.
The festivals I get, but the is it what's the MCN Live? No, what's the one that's in the NEC?
Live, the one that just got in November at NEC. That was all right, but it was just like it wasn't enough. You didn't have Piaggio there.
Yamaha.
You had Yamaha there.
Oh, they were there. Sorry,
they were there. But it was just a bit. Once you'd been round after about 20 minutes, you'd seen it all, and that was it.
It was really tiny last year.
A lot of Chinese mates were there.
Oh, good.
which is fine. But it was just a bit lame. It just didn't have the same.
No.
It doesn't have the same feelings. When I used to go there when I was a teenager, I mean, obviously, there's lots of change culture-wise. Obviously, there was lots of women on bikes and stuff like that. You don't get that anymore. You don't get the same interaction, I don't feel like. Obviously, it was more geared up towards men. It's not. It's more geared up towards everybody, which again is perfectly and totally fine. But I just feel like it's lost the character that it used to have in the old days. And
I think bikes have lost the character that they used to have in the old days as well.
There
used
was
to
a
have the
few
VTEC
British
engines
mates.
and really exciting looking bikes.
Yeah.
And now they're a lot more Euro 5 bland, aren't they?
And the British
Forgive
mates
me, I've got to go. I've got to go. I've just drunk too many ciders already.
But I think that
I'm going to keep my channel, by the way, okay?
Right, that's it, guys.
I think the British makes that were there were good, though. There were some nice British bikes there, which I did enjoy. And the guys that were there to chat, like Dot and stuff like that, were really... And is it Langer as well? Just looked really interesting. But Langer's a completely inaccessible make to most of us because you're looking at 90 grand bikes. So it just doesn't...
CCM normally have a good show there, don't they?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice. I saw some of the new CCMs and they're just too small. No, Norton were there yet, but Norton are an Indian company now anyway with a British name.
Yeah,
which is fine.
The reason they do it in winter is because obviously they're trying to promote the next year's models. So you know, EICMA, then NEC, then the London one, and in the summer you got better things to do because you should be out riding your bike instead of being inside indoors. You know,
wearing hoodies.
Yeah, exactly.
A motorcycle show. It just didn't excite me this year, but maybe that's because I must admit I was a little bit preoccupied trying to film it as well. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, and I should have just enjoyed it for what it was, but I was trying to film it, and that was hard because we went on a Saturday and there was so many people there. So
did you notice that everyone's a lot older now at the motorcycle show?
Yeah, there's no real young people there.
No,
it's definitely that conversation we had earlier. I feel like it's generally the generation has moved on. There's not as many young people that are getting into bikes.
Too expensive.
They ask you, but people ask you questions now, like they want to get into it, and I don't know the answers for them because when I did it 22 years ago now, and it was so different. It was still old fashioned then. It was an old fashioned test. So it's changed so much. But
why would you spend a grand? Sorry, Nate, carry on, mate.
Yeah, but it's because the manufacturers have made it to be more of like a lifestyle thing for older people who actually have the cash. Young people don't have the money, so they have to go for the cheaper bikes.
But the other thing is, like Ducati are releasing a new bike every year, or a new bunch of bikes every year. They're pretty much making their previous bikes obsolete. They're giving you huge finance deals to get them on the road. You're looking at £200-300 a month to get a decent bike on the road these days. But it's a fashion thing as well. Like 20 years ago, bikes were being made like maybe once every 2 years you get a new bike or a different bike. Now it's in some cases every 6 months. So it's crazy. It's like the car manufacturers now. It's just mental. But I couldn't justify spending 20 grand on a motorbike when I could spend 20 grand on a decent car.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
I don't think they're getting that. But as other manufacturers are coming onto the market, like the Chinese manufacturers and some of the British manufacturers with the British names of the Chinese bikes, they're coming in at, you're looking at bikes at 7-8 grand, which is where it was 20 years ago for a sports bike with 150 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
So how can you justify it? It seems to be the guy, like people that retired or they've got a bit of money, they can go out and buy whatever they want. And they're obviously making enough money out of that to not question that aspect. So, but as soon as this generation starts to fall away or starts to give up biking, that's when it's going to start to hit them. I don't know many guys that have got Ducati Multistradas that are under the age of 40, 30. So, and that's the market they should be looking at, in my opinion. But
yeah, I certainly don't think the government helps. They don't. They're not interested in us in the slightest.
They want us all riding around on electric motorbikes.
Yeah. Well, electric cars, I expect, more preferably. Yeah. Right. Okay. So go in. I'm just going to put the link up again, guys. If anybody else does want to come in, whether it's anyone, Andy GSA, if you want to come in, mate, or any of the other guys up that end, it's fine.
Yeah,
Sada, what's that
guy
say? You know a
Enrique,
bit of
he was
Spanish.
asking about any bike shows in September. I don't know of any bike shows in the UK in September. There was a guy, Enrique's traveling from Chile. He was asking if there are any bike shows in September. I don't think there are.
No, lots of bike meets and things like that, but no, like especially down in the West Country at that time of year, it's just like you can go anywhere bike meets. It's amazing.
Well, Southwest Rally is normally in September, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's down in, is it Bude?
Oh,
Yeah.
St Austell, I think. Yeah,
St Austell.
I think so. Yeah.
I want to do the what's the one down the other side of Devon? The big one, the big meet in the middle of summer. I can't think what it's called now.
Barnstable?
Yeah, is it the Barnstable meet? There's a big one.
Not
There's one
Barnstable.
down in
The bike show.
yeah,
Bideford,
big bike.
that's it.
Bideford, yeah, and then you've got the one down at Poole as well, which I'd like to go and see. But yeah,
See, I'm not big on them. We went last year, didn't we? ER.
Yeah. It's one of them where you walk around in about 5 minutes and then you just wish you'd spent the day riding out with your mates.
I like to go to the evening meets and just chat to like-minded people. I do enjoy. There's a local one to me called Langport, which is just fantastic. If you like your classic bikes, and the guys down there, they put so much effort into their bikes. Some of them are absolutely beautiful. The guy that runs it is a bike builder, and it's literally you go down there 6 o'clock in the evening, you stay there until 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's amazing. But
yeah. So yeah, I think our society's getting a bit scared of everything now. That's likely to be fearless. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That's where it's all going, isn't it? How much off-roading have you done, Tom? I know you fell off the other week, didn't you?
Not a lot. I did the ABR. If you watch my ABR film, you'll notice that the bike in that film is the one I've got now. I did the ABR festival, really enjoyed it. I haven't done much because in Somerset there's just not a lot of green lanes.
Is there not? I thought they would be.
No, they
They've all been
downgraded them.
declassified, haven't they?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right.
there's a few guys on the TRF that have knowledge of certain ones up on the Quantox, and they're very secretive of those ones. You have to join the TRF to get involved with that. My friend lives in the middle of the Quantox on the end of a track, so I've got to go and see him at some point and do a bit of a. But I don't want to fall off in the middle of nowhere. I think that's the thing. I need some buddies. So my dad's coming down. Wants to come down in July. He's a big off-roader, and we're going to look at doing the what's the big long track that goes all around Europe and down through
Trans-Euro Trail.
Yeah, that's it. There's one just down. It starts at Chard, and it's about 100-mile round trip. So we're going to see about doing that one.
What bike has he got, Tom?
He's got the 300. So So the reason that I've got the CRF 250 nice and cheap is because my dad had it, and he doesn't really care. He just wanted to get out and ride it, so that's why it's been abused. It's perfectly mechanically fine, but it's been abused, and that was like his first real experience into the proper green laning area. So he brought that brand new, that bike. But where he lives down in Kent now, but he used to live in South London, sort of Surrey area. And there, you literally can turn out of his road and have 100 miles off-road, green lane, no issues.
Is that Hippodrome territory?
Yeah, it is. So, and he's actually met him a few times and met those guys. He's met like, what's the other guy? Mr. Fish, Mr. Oh, what's
the Chronicles of Mr. Fish.
Yeah. Done a bit with them. But yeah, I'd love to do more, but like having the time, like the excuse to go, I'm just going to go and disappear for a ride off road.
I think we're all up against that, Tom.
Yeah.
It really is time, isn't it? Work.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The difference is you can go out on the road to get some milk, and you can go 100 miles and be home in half an hour. So you know, it doesn't really make any difference. But when you're looking for somewhere off road and you don't know what the conditions are going to be like. Yeah. When I crashed it was a bit naughty. I went you got the levels on Somerset, and in my video you saw it. I thought, I'll try just going down this little track to track, see what it's like. and I went down and fell off because it just hit a rut and it just went straight underneath me. I was going too fast. I had no experience of the area. Luckily, I hit a nice
river.
yeah, it was. It hit a bit of mud. Like my missus said to me, she said, you could have fallen in that river, you could have knocked yourself out, you could have been dead. No one would have even known you're there. And I was like, yeah, but
I'm taking your bike off you.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Think of the footage you got. Think of the footage.
Exactly. I was like, I got a bit of footage from that, and loads of big names went in for my crash footage for their channels. So it's great. So, but
they keep contacting me all the time.
Yeah. In the end, I was like, no. I'm bored now. You're not even giving. They give you the credit, but no one actually goes, "Oh, go and watch his channel or subscribe."
No.
So you get nothing from it. You get the view from the big name that are looking for crash motorcycles, and that's it. So
I think the whole off-road thing is massively getting bigger, isn't it? I think that's the end thing at the moment. Forget sports bikes and all the rest of it. Everybody seems to want to be going off-road now, getting on off-road, including myself.
Yeah, the trouble is, like Tom was saying, that the green lanes are gradually getting shut down, though, aren't they? And that's the good thing about the TRF, because they sort of fund and take these things to court to try and keep the lanes classified as they are, don't they?
And
it seems to be working as well, doesn't it? The pressure that they put on.
Some cases, and the other issue is that, like one of Mr. Fish, the Chronicles Mr. Fish videos, they block the lanes with old cars, or in some cases they're putting cables across the lanes to garrote you as you go through.
Really?
Yeah, like serious stuff, because most of the lanes are up by big houses and they don't want oiks riding around their motorbikes. So but at the end of the day, it's a public road, so pay your tax, you should be able to use it.
The is it the TRF? Sorry, was it the TRF? Yeah, TRF. Great thing to join, isn't it? Don't cost nothing, does it? I think it's £100 a year or something, isn't it?
Something like that. I think I do. I keep umming and ahhing.
Yeah, honestly, mate. I mean, I went and met a few of them up in the tent. I literally just walked in the tent at the ABR festival, and out of nowhere, I got given a beer, and I thought, this is great. And I told them, I'm not anyone, like, I'm just here to do a bit of filming. And they said, "No, it's fine. Have a beer." And they was all having a big party and looked great fun. But yeah, if you join and find out where the lanes are, I mean, there's loads in Exeter, which I found purely by accident. So it's a great thing to do, and you see the world in a different way, don't you?
I saw your video with who's Epic Adventures.
Oh yeah, and Saddle as well. Yeah,
trying to take his GS up the hill there, but you can't see the steepness in the hill, can you? On the cameras, it doesn't really give you that, but you could see how much the bikes were struggling to get up that you could see how steep it was, and when you're standing like that on it as well. So
well, one of them found it really easy. He flew up there.
Yeah, experience.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
Pirellis.
Experience and Pirellis. I think, to be fair. Yeah. But that video you put out today, Saddle, that was good, because you could see it from your point of view going up the hill. That was really good.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else, so I'll go over some old stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's difficult at the moment getting any videos out, isn't it? Doing filming and getting out to.
But the evenings are pulling out too.
It's hard because like the GoPros and the 360s do not do very well in low light. So I'm like leaving at like 6, 7 in the morning to go to work, and it's dark, and then I'm coming home and it's dark. And it's, although, like you said, the other day I came home and it was glorious sunshine. So, but I was driving. But yeah, it was. It's hard, and also like I have to plan when I do if I think I'm going to do a video tomorrow, this is what I'm going to talk about, because otherwise I'm just talking gibberish half the way around it, and you're not making any sense.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Thanks, lover of you. Here's one here. Do I support my kids biking? My lad's at the age now. His birthday yesterday, actually, where he can get a little 50. He's 16 now. I think they reach an age where you just got to let them go, and they have their own minds, don't they? So if they want to try something, you just guide them and make sure that they're going to be sensible, which my 16-year-old is much more sensible than what I was when I was 16. So I would probably say, yeah, okay, go for it. I don't think the missus would. I think she'd be a little bit more worried about it.
It's a question for Phil, that one.
Yeah, Phil?
I'm excited about my daughter wanting to learn to ride. I mean, I say learn to ride. She's looking to get a scooter to start off, but she's not a confident person on the road. She has no interest in getting a car license because she fears the road. She's already planned her route to university where it doesn't involve any roundabouts. So it does worry me, because when it's your children, it should worry you. If it doesn't, then you're not thinking straight.
No matter how old they are, they're always your kids, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So no, I wanted to get involved with it, and I suspect probably within 6 to 12 months of riding around on a scooter, she may well start to talk about doing a bike license. And I have no problem with that. I kind of rather her have a bike license and get not a proper bike, but get a bike that gives her a bit more option
Get out of
with
trouble,
regards distance.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I understand that say, and I get that say, and I think it's a bit misleading because there's only people that have got big bikes that say that. The fact is, you put yourself into dangerous situations. The bike doesn't do it. If you're on a 30-mile-an-hour zone road and you need more power to get out of a dangerous situation, then you've put yourself in that dangerous situation on a 30-mile-an-hour road. It's got nothing to do with the bike or the power of the bike. If she went onto a dual carriageway, which I've explained to her that with a 30-mile-an-hour limit on a 50cc scooter, just don't do it. Just avoid it like a plague. But no, this whole thing, bigger bikes get you out of danger. Well, just don't put yourself in that position in the first place. It's common
But then
sense.
you could argue that it's the people that's going up your ass
full...
and trying to push you along to go more than 30. That's the problem
Yeah,
there.
but use common sense then. Pull over or let them go past. Go to the side of the road. You're doing 20, 30 miles an hour. Let them go past. It's their day's going to get ruined because they're just going to come up against the next person in front that's going to hold them up. So let them have their little win, because your win is you'll get home in one piece that night.
Yeah, there's no point in being aggressive on a motorcycle.
No.
You've got to
always ride like they're trying to kill you. And if you do that, you've got more chance of getting home at night.
Yeah.
I got 3 kids. My oldest son's shown no interest in motorcycles whatsoever. He's very mellow and probably going to save the planet when he gets older. But my daughter, she shows a genuine interest in motorbikes. She really likes the whole idea. Like, she's asking me questions all the time. And my youngest, he just likes fast things and cars. So he's sort of at that age where he's into it. Then my oldest was at that time. But I would never go, no, you're never going to ride a motorbike. It's an experience, and I think most people should have in their life, whether it's an electric bike, whether it's
I'm sorry.
powered bike.
I'm neglecting somebody. I'm so sorry, Red. How long have you been waiting down there? Can't hear you anyway, mate, so don't worry about it.
Is that a sick person's sound?
Hello.
Hello, Red.
There we go. When the microphone glows, you can hear me.
Well done, mate. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, fine, fantastic.
Good.
Yeah, not been here long, about 10 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Awkward. That's like a year in.
That's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap up now, boys. Thanks for coming along. Are you still getting out then, Red? You're still out and about, aren't you, on the bike?
Yeah, it's actually quite nice because we've got a small group of local riders, and we've sort of connected quite well. And there's no drama, there's none of this, there's no fannying about. It's just, where do we want to go? We've got a couple of coffee shops. There's a design place which has opened up near a coffee shop as well, and he's got lots of really nice things. You can just ride your bike into his warehouse with his permission, of course, and just take pictures. It was great. And yeah, it's exploring the local area, local cafes, local scenes, talking to more bikers, and yeah, it's a really social, really fun experience. I love it.
Brilliant. There's going to be people that don't know you. Can you just explain what bike you've got as well?
So I have the Indian Scout Rogue, 1200 cc's, liquid cooled V-twin. Don't ask me anything else because I can't remember.
Yeah, that's right. That's all right. 1200 to 1200.
Yeah, exactly.
Powerful.
Yeah.
How can you got to that then, and not a Harley, for example?
Oh. Controversial take now, boys. Let's go. So myself and Rhythmic, we've taken many trips down to Watford Harley Davidson, and they've been fantastic with letting us on any old bikes. And originally I was really set on the Harley Pan America because I just thought 150 horsepower in a bike like that, and it went like a rocket. I thought fantastic. And then I thought it's too tall for me, and I know that's a fact. So I thought, right, let's be more realistic. Let's go back to cruisers where I know I'm comfortable. So I've test rode. Well, I've rode the Street Glide for a couple of weeks in America. That was fantastic. Over here, we've test rode the Sportster S, the Low Rider.
Hang on, what did you think of the Sportster S?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's
Uncomfortable, legs out around a long way.
Yeah.
And the engine is very sort of refined, isn't it? That's the new engine. That's the Revolution Max engine, which is the same as the Pan America.
Yeah.
I'm just filling in the gaps.
Yeah. So it's a lovely bike, the Sportster S, but the suspension travel is nigh on near non-existent. So I don't know whether it's the way they had it set up, but yeah, about 20 minutes into a 40-minute ride for both of us, we just said, no, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
it's quite bland as well. Within 5 minutes, I thought I just want to go back and ride something else.
Yeah. I think we felt the same way because of the discomfort, and I think that overshadowed everything else about the bike. So maybe we didn't pick out any other flaws that we might have done because we were more concerned with our backs hurting because Watford has a few potholes. But yeah, so back on the original point, I didn't find a Harley which was both comfortable and had a great amount of acceleration. For the price tags that they wanted, I think I really settled for the Sport Glide because I loved that bike. But when I tried to do a few overtakes on like a dual carriageway, it had nothing. I tried dropping a gear. I tried trying different ranges in the power bands, different gears, whatever. It just didn't seem to have enough oomph for me. And coming off the Vulcan S, that just had power whenever I wanted it. It's only a 650cc. So I wanted a bigger one of those.
Can I ask a question there?
Yes.
Harleys, when you say about the power on Harleys, I think that this might sound silly, but I think sometimes they might restrict the power so you can get the upgrades, because everything Harley needs an upgrade. Phil, jump in anytime, mate. You know about your Harleys and things. So
look, I'm no Harley aficionado. I've only had one bike, and it's the smallest baby Harley that you can buy. What you got to bear in mind, there's two different engine types. The Indian has an over square engine, which means it's a short stroke with a wider pot, whereas the Harley has a long stroke with a narrower pot. One produces more torque, one produces more power. It's as simple as that, really. I mean, I love the Indian. I think the look of it is just incredible. Much of the range is actually incredible.
Yeah, I think the Pan America, of course, that's going to be over square as well. That's an over square engine.
But that shoots off, like the power in that and the acceleration is just very fulfilling.
It is. It is.
The Rev Max engine is aiming more towards the engine that Indian use now. To give it that power and that performance, and then moving away from the torque side of it. I mean, Exeter, you've ridden Harleys. You know, it's like one bang every lamppost, but you can open the throttle up at any point in the rev range, and it'll just go.
Yeah.
So
the Pan American for me was if they could nail down the reliability for the Pan America, which I know now the electronics are not good. It's just a typical Gen 1 bike. So the electronics aren't up to speed. Whether they've changed that with software updates, I don't know.
Keep off the grass.
Yeah, keep off the grass. I was waiting for that. I knew somebody was going to say it. And ironically, I was just going to say that the Pan America for me off-road was probably the most engaging bike I've ridden, big bike off-road. At the ABR
it pains me to
festival.
say it, but I still think this is one of the most beautiful bikes in the market.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
Have you ridden one?
The Indian FDR 1200.
Have you ridden one?
Beautiful, love it.
No, I'd love to, but no, I haven't. The thing is, there's no Indian dealerships around here. You just
I had to go on one with Crazy Horse. It looks really good. I was very unimpressed with it.
Oh right, okay.
I like
Why,
it.
Maybe
Nate?
because
Why
of
is
the
that?
Augustus, but it felt very flat. But I was going to ask Red, because you were talking about suspension travel, and for me, that's the big problem with cruisers in general. And I had a go on a Scout a little while ago, and I just found every time you hit any kind of bump, it was going straight up my back.
Yeah, it's very similar with the Rogue. I think the seat does help a little bit. The suspension travel isn't amazing, but I think actually I went for an overtake earlier today, and I hit a pothole whilst overtaking, and the entire bike just squirmed. And the next one that I hit, it just flattened the suspension, and I felt it all the way up my spine. But it's not as bad as the Sportster S.
Yeah,
It looks
fair
good,
enough.
the Sportster S, though, doesn't it? I took a while to get the hang of the Sportster S look. It just looks so different from any other cruiser on the market that it's. But when you're up close with them, they think they look quite smart. But I don't think I'd ever want one. I'd much rather have the Indian than over a Harley.
I would too, actually.
I love the look of the Harleys. I really do. If I had loads of money, I would have a Harley in my garage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? But
that's the one I
awesome.
had. Street Bob,
Stunning.
beautiful.
Yeah, lovely looking bike.
But
Yes,
you
And
really
one
is.
thing,
Terminator 2, isn't it? You just want a fat boy, something like that. But
There's a fat boy sat on it when I was on it, but yeah.
Sweet.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? They're like one of the oldest They're trying to change their image, aren't they? Overall, Harley. They're trying to aim at a wider market, but they're detracting from their unique selling point by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah,
Corner, haven't they? Because for years and years they said, "Oh, heritage, blah blah blah," and now they can't get away from it because all their customers are getting old. No offense, Phil. And
I'm getting old.
But I've never ridden a Harley. That's one thing I should do. I should probably get on one and see what it feels like. But I see. The thing is, I love the noise they make. I love the culture. I love the character, and that's probably why I went for the MT-01, because at the end of the day, it's like a refined Harley. It does everything the Buell should do better. So it still rattles and bangs. It still shakes itself. Like if you, I mean. But that's
got that Japanese quality in the build as well.
Yeah, it almost like they've built in the vibrations. It's like they went, it needs to vibrate, so we'll just build that in. So but like Harleys do that sort of slap noise when they idling. They got it sounds like someone slapping their arse basically when they're idling. But the MT-01 doesn't have that. It's a more refined but the MT-01 the Harley's sort of like an offset idle. It's different. So
yeah. Potato.
Yeah.
How are you getting on with your VN 1600 saddle? Are you out at that at all, or is it?
No, it's hardly moved. There's been too much salt on the road for that.
Yeah.
So
you're just using the Himalayan at the moment, mainly, are you? Or
that and the Pan-European?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've used that a lot over the winter. That's brilliant for that.
Yeah.
All sheltered.
All right, cool. Lads, I'm going to start knocking off now. It's been an hour and 20. It's a shame Red's just come in. We've got so much we can talk about. We can do it next time anyway. So.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I thought there was going to be more people coming in, actually. I thought there's going to be quite a wave of people coming in, but it shows how popular my live shows are, doesn't it? So say no more. Hello, it's just one here. Putin drops
33 watching it at the moment.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Give it a like if you would, everyone, please. That'd be helpful. Out of all the bikes, what would you ride to the end? Assume all bikes have auto-cancelling indicators. Well said. Okay, there you go, lads. Who's going to start with that? Let's do.
Can I quickly chime in with the auto-cancelling indicators? I hate them on the Scout because every time I try and take a third exit on a roundabout, it stops. By the time I get to the second exit, so I've got to re-engage that damn indicator just so people know.
Yeah,
I'm still coming around that roundabout, and I don't know if you know, Milton Keynes full of roundabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently so. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
Harley's the same. By the time we get to the second exit, it's already self-cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like
Yeah.
figure out if there's a way to just snip a wire, maybe, or
Yeah,
just
all
like
this
turn that off.
newfangled technology.
I just
I'll kick
I-
off with this then. I would
Yeah, go on.
probably want a Road King.
All right. I'm quite surprised by that. I don't know
I'm not-
why. I didn't think it was going to be a Road King, but yeah, okay. Tom?
Yeah, only because after watching $1 Million Bogans videos, that survives everything. So it'll even survive Putin's bombs.
Yeah.
I would go for a British make bike. You don't see many of them about, and I've completely and utterly forgotten the name.
Come back to you in a minute then.
Yeah,
Saddle?
I'll go do some research.
Oh, I would like to say Ernie, but in those circumstances, I'll probably have something like an H2R, just to, the Kawasaki,
Yeah.
something big and fast, and because I'm going to die anyway.
No.
Anything that's for two wheels. I don't know. A Goldwing. There you go. Off into the sunset on a Goldwing.
Yeah. Well, you guys are going big like that, so I'm going to go for a monkey bike because there's no rush. I'm going to die anyway, so just hurry up and get on with it. I'll drive towards the bomb. Red?
In my limited experience of motorcycling, I think I would actually stick with a Vulcan S.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking practical. There's less sensors where the DCU is not going to start screaming at you because like your tire pressure is too low. Just let me ride the bike.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Mhm.
Fair enough. Phil?
You
Have
already
we done
said
Phil yet?
Road King, wasn't it?
Oh, we go Road King. Sorry,
Yeah, Road
Tom.
King.
Yeah, I would go for a Hesketh, probably an S24.
Hesketh.
What the hell's that?
Wow. Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
heard of
you
that.
don't know. You won't know it until you look at it. It's massive 2.1
Wow.
V twin. Some of them are actually, just completely unique. So
It's a privately owned company now, isn't it?
yeah, they were massive in the 80s, and then they sort of dropped
Yeah.
away, and now they've been rebrought. And
Are they British, are they?
Yeah, British through and through, manufactured up in Surrey. So yeah, but they're like untouchable, like 90 grand bikes. So, but that was what I would go for.
All right. Let's see what the other guys think. Nice to end on happy thoughts. Yeah, that's Dawn Drifter. That was. That's typical of him to come out with something like. I know him quite well.
Curious Goose says a Kajiva elephant.
Ooh.
That'd be great.
What the hell is that?
Kajiva elephant. It's like an Africa Twin type bike. They are brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kojima. I know Kojima.
Think of the
I've never heard of the
Ducati
elephant.
Desert X. I think the Ducati Desert X is inspired by the Kajiva.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All
It's
right.
got a dose of ugly, I reckon.
Good
Yeah,
night,
trouble
lover
hiding it in the
review.
roundabout so he goes for a sleep in.
Twin Peaks, Vincent Black Shadow.
Mm.
Good choice. But it takes so long to get it started. That's the problem. Smith's on T wheels is Rocket 3.
Yeah.
Ride the Rocket.
That one there.
W800 Cafe. Wow, yeah, I like those. Bevel drive camshaft, stunning.
They are really nice, actually. Yeah, those.
I mean, if it's going to be the apocalypse, actually, I'd probably be better off with a Himalayan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
it'd be like a cockroach, wouldn't it? It would just carry on.
The Hilux. Yeah.
Someone put
Yeah.
about a breakout. Do you know what? That's a Harley I would have, a breakout. I just love the look of them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Excellent. DB? What's that? I don't know what that means. Anyway. Right, I'm going to go free now and start knocking off now. Starting with Noob. Tell us about your channel. If we want to get to you, was it Noob Biker? Yeah.
New biker. Probably won't have. I'm afraid I've got a video coming out on Wednesday, but after that, I might have an enforced break because I'm traveling a little bit and I haven't got any content lined up. But yeah.
Saddlebags.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? Sorry?
I don't know really. Saddlebags
Oh, right.
73. I'm on YouTube. I ride a
I'm
Royal Enfield
Sam
Himalayan.
Banksy on YouTube, and I'm addicted to gateways.
Good of you. Yeah. He's famous for it. Phil.
Yeah, I've been out on the bike today, recorded a video which will be out next week, but I really am sort of feeding hand to mouth right now. It's if I record something, it's out next. So it's the weather is killing me. You all know that I'm a fair weather biker and struggling massively.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
all right.
But looking forward to lots going on this year with social rides and
Yeah,
ride outs and stuff. So yeah,
it's a lot to look forward to, isn't it? Where we are
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
huge. I think this year's going to be huge. I think we've just got over everything now. And I think things have just opened up completely. There's no restrictions. And I think this
Yeah.
year, 2023, we're going to have loads more opportunities. I can't wait.
and I think for us as YouTubers as well, we're more established now, aren't we? We've got our foundation. We can enjoy, all what's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, just obviously not much the same. Just going to do some more reviews about the kit I've got, I think, in the garage. That's all I can really do at the moment. And maybe do some more vlogging. So, yeah.
What about CRF and off-roading?
I'm going to try and get out off-road. That could be interesting, couldn't it? So amateur off-roading.
So,
Always.
if I get an off-roader again, which
Mm.
I will do at some point, I've got one in mind I want to try and get. I'll probably hook up with saddlebags anyway, and a few of the other boys, and I'll give you a shout. All right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Uncle Red?
Yeah, so
I think you
Uncle
just
Red on
about said it,
YouTube.
really, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I always try and make a video where you can come away with something, maybe think about something, whether I achieve that goal or not. But I try. Otherwise, it's just rides, and if you tune in, hooray! If you don't, don't worry about it.
And out with you're good mates with Rhythmic Biker as well, aren't you?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. I tell you what,
We love
you both are lovely fellows, and I know we'd all say the same about that. You're a cracking bunch of guys. So.
I can't fault him. He's a funny lad.
Yeah, he might be watching, so careful what you say.
He's got his SLR now as well. I love that.
Yeah, don't tell anyone else. But he tried to keep up with me on and I outdone him. So.
Oh really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
What on the ZZR? You need the top box.
Yeah, he's the top. I think just quickly on that as well. I know he's very much getting used to the ZZR, and he's already said a couple of times how the back end sort of like kicked out on him. So he's still getting used to the bike, but I've got no doubt when summer comes along, he will slaughter me all the time.
Yeah. Don't ruin it, mate. Just keep it up there for now.
That's all right. I just cruise along. My own business.
Yeah.
Supercharger.
I just noticed something. Does it have to be a legal requirement to have a beard for these lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I was a bit disappointed. I thought you was going to sort that out, but
I shaved. I that was it.
yeah.
Done.
Well,
So
never again. But thanks for coming on this time. Guys, thank you so much. I've had a real crap week at work and with other things as well. Really made it simple for me. So thanks for lifting everything up and that, and much appreciated for coming on. Normal crew as normal, and it's great having Tom on as well and Uncle Red. As I say, I thought more people were going to come on. Actually, I'm not disappointed. It's been a great show. Thank you very much. And for the people in the side chat as well, Dawn Drifter, thanks a lot for coming along, mate. Curious Goose, Stephen Mark Helm 50. Thank you so much, mate. Phil Green, superstar, love review, normal superstar, and who else have we got? I don't want to miss people. Simon Gilbert, normal legend. I've only had 2 cans. I'm feeling a little bit tingly in the face. That's what a lightweight I am. I never drink anymore. Quinn Peaks, and
That's quite a lot of gin.
What's that?
2 cans is quite a lot of gin, mate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just cider. Somerset cider as well, Neeb. So it's a little bit. I'm trying to get rid of the cans.
I'm on Sheppy's.
Phil Carey, and everyone that's come along. So been great. Stay on after, lads, for now, and I'll catch you in a second. Thanks for everybody who's watching. Give the video a like; it'll be really great. And thanks again. And we'll see you on the next one. Next week will be a normal video, and then I'll probably do another live again. I've already got that one set up actually. So thanks for watching. Brilliant, and I'll see you when I see you. Cheers, guys.